flexing on some grown man knees. What you grown man needs? Come on. We vibing on some grown man needs. We loving on some grown man needs. I know, you know, that you're down with me. You know, I know, that you're feeling me. Know that
we are here, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight. Peace and blessings to you all, family. This is Grown Man Conversations, the visual podcast coming live from E.Q Studios. And tonight we have a blacktastic show, a blacktastic edition of Black Businesses. We're putting the spotlight on an incredible studio setup that some may know of and some may not. But if you are an entertainer, if you are an artiste, if you are a musician, live instruments, voiceovers, if you need technical aspects of all audio, video, recording, etc.,
all of it,
then we're going to point you in the right direction tonight, hopefully the direction, one of Charlotte's best kept secrets. But before I dive into that and we dive together, let me introduce myself. I'm one half of the co-hosting team. I go by the name of Tone X.
it's a grown man in
Oh, no, I don't want to do that. That's what I want to do. That one right there, even though it is a grown man in the building. Ann, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes,
Lady in Black.
Thank you. The lady in black tonight, which is also his code D, is Y Squared.
I'm sure that is. And tonight in the building, you see him positioned at the table, getting ready to partake into the Willy Bobo.
Yeah.
Yolanda, since you like to do introductions, would you like to introduce these two gentlemen?
Yes, I would love the honors of introducing these two gentlemen who I have the privilege of working with every Tuesday for our visual podcast, and also have worked with them as artists in the industry as well. Jay Styles, we actually go back 20-something plus years, over 20 years, you know what I mean? So Jay Styles is also one of the owners of EQ Studios. And then also my producer, and my brother from another mother, Kirk, Jamaican, Haitian.
She said Haitian.
Right, you know, sound like he legal.
Russian.
All the
He need paperwork.
All the shins.
He ain't got no paperwork, all them.
I know, right? And he's also owner of EQ Studios, which stands for Exceptional Quality Studio.
Come on.
Let's give him a hand. Give him some claps for exceptional quality, ladies and gentlemen, because one of the things that we hear a lot of times when it comes to black businesses is the quality. The quality is always different for some odd reason. Service and quality. And when you name your business Exceptional Quality Studios, you've already set the bar on. We started off like this. What is EQ Studios?
I'll let you explain. So EQ Studios, for those that don't know, is a multimedia recording studio.
Multimedia recording studio.
Multimedia.
Now break that down for
So,
those of us who aren't technically
For the
advanced.
word multi in Webster means multiple, multitude,
Hand clap for
many
that.
of.
Wow.
Yes.
He plays Scrabble.
Wow.
Try to do every facet of the entertainment industry here, but not so to where it becomes a giant cluster, right? So we do, of course, vocal recording, tracking, production, mixing and mastering, artist development, vocal coaching, vocal production.
A little videography. I know we do definitely photography.
Yes, photography. Shouts out to Kelly Hood, our
Yeah.
our PR and photographer, Fist, to give it a sex.
Well, too.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot going on under this roof.
Yeah, and definitely
Nice.
shouts out to our other co-people, co-brothers,
Yeah.
co-family members,
Rich
Jay
and Will,
Smash,
yeah.
Rich and Will, for definitely doing what they do in the industry and
Smashing
making-
out there.
Give him some love. Smash. Give him some love.
So yeah, that's what we do here. We try to leave no stones unturned and podcasting. We also do podcasts.
Yes, you do.
Because
Yeah.
this is where we are.
Yes, you do.
We're
Yeah.
podcasting.
And some of y'all are looking right now and you're saying, damn, they got Kevin Hart on there tonight. We don't. That's We don't, okay? But we.
Somebody just
Kevin Hart
Because
can't
somebody,
sing.
I just
Kevin
saw,
Hart can't sing.
I just saw a comment. It was like, they got Kevin Hart. And I'm telling everybody, hold up before you do that. Okay, boy.
Kevin Hart can't sing.
Hand clap for somebody who thought he was Kevin Hart. Ladies and gentlemen.
Him on one of our shows.
Okay, we blowing up. We blowing up already. How many years have you been here?
We only been here
not even a
since
year.
March.
Wow.
Not even a year.
Yeah.
Oh, you part of the staff too?
No, but I know that he.
Okay. Because you swung over here like, wait, you've been here since March. I'm
Basically,
like,
y'all
okay,
here
then.
every Tuesday, so on Tuesday, y'all part of the staff.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm a co-worker on Tuesday. But no, seriously though. So I know, and just kind of let our audience know a little bit both of you and just some back history. We'll start with you, Jay Styles, since we have a lot of history together. Since I've known you, you've been singing.
Yeah.
Sound like I've known you since you came from the womb. But since I've known you, you've been singing. You've always been very serious about your craft and serious about what you do. Tone and I, myself, have been able to have the privilege of even watch you go from the different levels and stages in your career
Absolutely.
to where you are now. And so what, how did you, I know you've always been into production, so was having a studio like this always a dream, or was it being on stage and performing as the artist? Because you do both of them so well. And is it
What did I want to do at first? So we got smashed and beat yesterday, but shout out to my Cowboys. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a cowboy football player, but you know, shout out to them. Anyways, respect to my Panthers. That's my home team.
Wait a minute, he said a cowboy.
Look, all the Cowboys fans just got off the show. Anyways, of course, for those who know me or don't know me or whatever, you might have seen me touring all over the world, in-state, out-of-state, as the youngest member of the Grammy Award-winning group Blackstreet, featuring Teddy Riley, Dave Hollister, Rodney Cole, and myself. Of course, I actually lived with Teddy Riley the month before I got into Blackstreet.
Yep.
I was signed to him as a producer and a writer. So I lived with him for like a few years.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Go ahead. And I don't want to cut off your flow.
Okay.
But I just got to know this. Teddy Riley's goatee, did it stay perfect when you were staying with him?
he put Beijing on
Does
it?
this goatee stay perfect? Now listen, first of all, I didn't say that. I was being for real. Then she want to add in some.
I'll just say.
I just know every time I seen Teddy Riley goatee. Teddy Riley's the one, him and Puffy was the ones that made me get my goatee together. Teddy Riley with the line that would meet and mine never did. So then I had to go to the Puff, where Puff would do the little chin right there. I was like, okay, then Teddy Riley goatee was off the hook. That should have been its own group. Guy and the goatee.
the goatee. But nah, he just takes care of himself.
Yep.
But I sit there when I lived with him and I watched him as I produced. I was as a producer, but I watched him produce. And I really wasn't trying to be a producer, though I played in the church. I was drum captain in high school. I would produce little tracks, put things together just to write to give it to him to reproduce.
Oh.
I overheard him on an interview and saying that Jay doesn't know it, but he's becoming a producer and turning into it. I remember hearing that, and I was like, whatever. I just write and sing whatever. And, of course, it grew into something. And of course, one of my clients, when I first moved, my very first studio was actually Kirk. Shout out to Fred Heath or Kanan, who brought him to meet me.
Awesome. Let me shout out a couple of
We got real stories, ladies and gentlemen.
Woods. What's up? I know you're watching. Your family's in the building tonight, so I know you're
Yes.
And what's up, JD Houston? Thank you for joining in for Grown Man Conversation.
Shouts out to everybody that is tuning in for Grown Man Conversations, the visual podcast. And we are talking tonight to the gentlemen that are behind E.Q Studios. Now, when I met you, okay, I was at Power 98.
Wow.
And I got to Power 98 in 97.
It was the year that Aaliyah died.
And it was the year you died.
Yeah. crazy.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
How old you say you were?
13.
Yeah, okay. And so I was checking him out, and I was seeing what he was doing, and I heard him. And I pulled him to the side, and I was like, listen, why are you in Charlotte? Because you have so much talent just to be here. Like, what is it about here?
It was different from that. The dude cursed me out. Just know that. He threw me almost threw me against the wall and was like, what the
I don't
you
remember
doing
that.
here?
I don't remember that.
He said, what the you doing in Charlotte?
Non-violent person. So I didn't do that.
And I'm telling you, and I that stuck with me for the rest of my life. And it was no shade on Charlotte, North Carolina, because this is my hometown. But I knew I was supposed to be somewhere else.
I just saw your talent bigger than it's something I used to always say when I came here, and already I would say the city outgrows the mentality of the people that live here.
Mm-hmm.
So the city, Charlotte is in 2021, but a lot of the mentality of the people that live here is in 09,
Right, absolutely.
13.
Absolutely.
So when I saw you and heard you, and I was just saying, listen, your talent that's not a local talent.
Mm-hmm.
Any talent is a local talent because that's where you come from.
Right,
That's
absolutely.
not a local talent.
Mm-hmm.
That is a national talent. So you need to do something and get up out of here
Absolutely.
and get on your game,
I remember.
you know? And then when you came back, you was like, yo. I was like, oh, boy, you in Blackstreet? What? Is Teddy Riley go-to? Perfect, like ours.
Forget how is it on the road.
Right, I don't care about none of
y'all
that.
recording anything
How that
new.
goatee be looking on stage?
Go-to.
But that was a big deal, though, man. And
Yes,
still,
sir, man.
and still proud of you.
Just understand, man, every moment, and that's why I don't try to mentor people, but I believe that God puts his, or gives us opportunity to sometimes say something that could possibly really stick with somebody
Wow.
to change their lives or to change the direction that they're going. Right. I promise you, that stuck. That's why when first time I saw you back, bro, yo, you have no idea. And you were like, oh, I think I remember. Bruh. It was that little thing that meant so much to me. Like, wait a minute. He's on the radio. He telling me this? Mm-hmm. Oh, I got to get out of here. Yeah. I got to get out of here.
And you got out of there, too. You got out of there and getting there.
I came back, though. You
did.
E.Q Studio.
Exactly.
I was going to say, look how it come full circle.
Right.
So, now our producer, Kirk.
Yes.
And this is kind of the same type of question for you of what I asked Jay Styles, because I knew you as royalty. That's how I met you, as the artist on stage with all this high energy with Woods and doing your thing like that, and an international, reggae artist. Has it something?
International, ladies and gentlemen. It's not local talent in this building. Okay, I got a story for him too.
Sunshine Anderson, that. Sunshine Anderson, they're on tour with Sunshine Anderson.
Absolutely.
International reggae artists. But have you always been, because seamlessly we came into E.Q Studios and working with you, producing the show, and it was like a seamless transition that we did. And so it was wow factor for me to see you go from on the stage with high energy as the artist to now, you know what I mean, as a co-owner of your own multi-purpose media studio.
So, mine's is a lot different from this guy. COVID made me do this.
Oh.
So, me and Woods, we would go to
God
Phoenix.
and COVID. Go ahead.
Give it up for God and COVID, ladies and gentlemen. God and COVID. God and COVID.
God's last name is COVID?
God.
No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
No, but me and Woods used to record with
Take your time.
Figs. Shout out
to
K Figs.
And at the end of the beginning of COVID, where it was there but nobody knew it was really there, the last song that me and Woods had for our album, Bars and Patois, crashed. He lost the file, so we had to re-record the song.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I do remember. Yeah,
So we had to re-record the song. So the day before we re-recorded the song, I told Woods, don't worry about it. I'm going to figure it out. So I remember what this guy showed me when he used to record me. push that button. I didn't know it stuck with me.
It's crazy.
And then watching Figs as well.
I definitely didn't know that.
Right. So
the little things.
24 hours, I went to YouTube University.
Stop playing.
And I'm talking about I stayed up all night long. I called Woods the next day and I said, come over this evening. We're going to finish the song. He's like, how? I said, I went and got equipment. We're going to shoot the shot. We finished the song, recorded it, sent it off to our mixer and master and
Shout
engineer.
out to JK.
Shout out to JK. He said, hey, question. He called me back. He was like, hey, question, where did y'all record this at? I was like, oh, shoot. I'm about to be exposed. I said, at my house. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah. And I gave him the explanation of why. He was like, this sounds better than, no shade to Figs, this sounds better than all the songs that you've ever sent me with the quality.
You know this song that is about you, though.
So JK stayed on the phone with me for like an hour and a half just saying, man, you can do this, you can do that. I didn't know you knew how to do this. I said, me neither. So the whole time I'm going, what did I just open up? Pandora's box. So we started the second album and started doing like drops and dub plates and everything at my house, in my loft. Every week I would buy a whole new setup. It would be like, you bought something else again? And I'm like, yeah, because I saw on YouTube that
He still be buying like that, trust me.
I did. So I just kept upgrading, getting better and learning more about what's going on. Then I reached out to Styles and I said, you know what, man? Studio, outside of the fact my wife said, you need to get out this house with all that noise. And Charnel came over, Sean was coming over, everybody was coming over to record with me. And I'm like,
but how God works, though, I had already mentioned to him before. Were you doing music then, though? Were you recording then when I said that to you?
Yeah.
When I said that?
I had just started.
It wasn't the pandemic, though, I don't think. I'm talking about the very first time.
Oh, no.
The very first time I said, you know what? I think I'm going to get another spot. You know, a little power out, what it was doing, boom, but I think I'm going to get another spot. So I was already looking.
But then I had nothing to do with it.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, Styles, I want to go ahead and I'm going to do a studio and I want you to come and be a partner with me. Run it, whatever. And he was just like, well, you know, if I'll do it, you know, I want to be partners. And I said, I have no beef with you. We've never thoughts, no nothing. Like, I don't know anything negative about you, and I like to keep it that way. Right. So time went on, and he was still with Power Out, and the transition was, you know, about to happen. Mm-hmm. And so I called him. I said, hey, man, I'm going to do this with or without you. But if you want to come later, that's cool. But I'm going to get the ball rolling. Mm-hmm. It's time. Before I get put out my own house, I'm going to start the studio because we got things to do. So I started the ball rolling, and then he was just like, hey, man, the opportunity presented itself where okay, great. Mm-hmm. And voila.
And this is now exceptional quality studio.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about
We were calling out names, and when he
we had a third person that was going to jump on board with us, and you know, life happened where that didn't happen, but we would have conference calls, and you know, they'll throw out some names, I threw out some names, and I was like, it has to do something with music, and I didn't want to name it like all this other crazy. I say it has to be
Boy Studios.
Right. I say it has to be something corporate. It has to represent equality, and it has to represent barbershop. Dope fade barbershop. Right. Okay, so all you do there is fades?
Right.
No disrespect to them. That's you know, if that's what you want to know, blazing cuts and all this other, that's cool with you.
A universal name / not a genre.
No.
Not a race. Right. Like it just feels like anybody can come here.
So I said EQ, and it was like EQ. Oh, I like that because it reminds you of EQs, and I was like, yeah, but it has to have a name though. So because while we were talking, I'm searching. Seeing E.Q Studios all over the place, but it was just E.Q, right? So E.Q changes the whole schematics of the naming convention. Yes. And I was like, let's make it something that stand the test of time. Yeah. Exceptional means one of the top notch. Yeah, top notch, yes. Right? And quality is
But
what
you always
everybody's
want.
looking for.
Right.
But you won't, baby.
Whether in a relationship, whether in sound, whether in any kind of delivery,
Yeah.
it's got to be quality.
And that's the big thing that what Tony said was talk about our race. You know, we have these conversations all the time. How sometimes we tend to drag our feet
Yes.
or settle for okay. This
Yes.
is just okay.
Yeah, mediocre.
Right. Okay. Listen, we come from the king.
Yeah.
The king ain't give us okay.
No.
Why we representing okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we supposed to represent. Let me give 1,000%.
Right. And even back in the day, we could never be okay slaves.
Right.
We could never give massa
Wow.
okay quality.
Wow.
Right.
It had to be exceptional or you would die
Yeah.
Right.
or be sold.
Yeah.
So by
Right.
default, we know how to do that. Why don't we do
We
that?
don't do it.
Because we revert back to this slavery. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Right. That's a whole
nother
different
topic.
show.
Yeah.
If you know to do better and still don't do better.
Then come on now.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Amen. So that's EQ Studios in a nutshell. It wasn't set to be better than anyone or better than its own.
Yeah, at our best.
Yeah.
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 But it's like I was listening to my man Deion Sanders, and he was talking about what he said
Cowboys, Dion.
told
Go
his kids.
Go ahead.
What he told his kids. And I don't know if Deion want to really talk about Cowboys. Probably down in Atlanta somewhere. We'll talk about the Falcon Day. I don't know if he wanted to, but he was saying to his kids, he said, you don't have to be the best. You just have to give me your best.
Wow.
And he said, I know what your best is because I raised you, but that's the same philosophy that you can put on everybody, any business. You don't have to be the best. You know what I mean? Amazon ain't the best at what they do. All right? Best out of what he was doing.
Exactly.
And I hate to go back to church, but if what you just said, that God expects our best, why
Right.
do we give less?
Right.
And especially those who believe the black culture, this and that.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right. I think it's a mindset because I agree with you. You know what I mean? And sometimes I find myself even self-checking myself, giving myself a checkup from the neck up. When you don't, and I also go with the saying that they say, when you know better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us haven't been privileged to be in environments and situations or brought up in homes that show us how to do better.
Who do you choose to be though today?
True.
I beg to differ that.
My father
Because
was
I know where you're going with it.
Yeah.
Grew up
I'm from
totally-
Jamaica, born and raised. I didn't know no better. My parents dropped out of school in
His
10th
stories.
grade having babies. My dad got on the Apple train to get, a passport, a visa to get to the States. Did good, got shipped back, then got into hospitality. Massa. Let him do this. Brought him up here. He brought all 7 of his kids, all by my mother, to America. Did not finish school. Retired at the same place.
Choice.
I never saw him until I was 11. Not because he didn't want to be there. It's because he was making a way. So I didn't have an example. To this day, I don't have an example.
Right.
Every choice that I've made,
Right.
from opening
Choice,
up my barber salon to this, to now opening up a lounge, Flex Lounge, next summer, it's all been, it was already
Choice.
engraved in
But
me,
that
right?
was like I said,
It's a mindset.
That was a mindset.
Yeah.
And like I said, so some people, when you don't have a strong mindset, like that's something to me that you're innately born with at birth. You know what I mean? Whatever those gifts and whatever those jewels are that God is going to put in your DNA, that happens at birth. And it's up to maybe your parents or society or the world or the village to help tap into what those gifts are for you to
pull it
see
out.
Yes, pull it out. Some of us don't do it. Now, I don't think I'm one of those people. I'm speaking for the voice of the person who is in a rut, who wants to get out of the rut, but doesn't believe that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
That
they
there's
can't-
that there's a way out.
that there's a way out.
Right.
For that type of person.
Oh, yeah.
Change your thinking. Here's the thing. Like, you heard about your father. You didn't be that. Because my father's father wasn't it. My father said, nah, I'm not about to be that.
Yeah, that's what my dad said. Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
When I talk about choice, that's what I'm talking
No,
about.
I got you.
But his choice is the result of this.
Right. And like she said, it's going to take a village in society. Jamaica doesn't allow men to be lazy.
I feel you.
The joke of Jamaicans have 1,000 jobs. You are not allowed to be lazy.
Right.
But I came here from a teenager, so I didn't even know that, as a thing, right? From going from trying to figure out life as a young boy to being atheist, to being agnostic, to now being Christian, to having a stroke at 19, to having a child at 18. I had to figure all my mom said was, hey, it's your life. You got to figure it out. That's all she said.
But that goes back to going even further than past slavery. When we go back to what you said in a few minutes ago, that king mentality and knowing what cloth that we're really cut from.
Talk about
and
it.
doing that history and that ancestry and knowing that what Tone talks about sometimes, that ripple in the water, that ripple, and even though it's a part of your genes or it was way back and you might not have even been thought of in that time, that ripple in the water or that energy of whatever that was passed on that might have skipped through your mom and dad or your grandfather but end up hitting you, and you know what I mean? Those are, to me, those are what those type of situations end up coming from when you look and you feel like my environment didn't make me. You know what I'm saying?
My choice made me.
Yes, my choice made me.
Right.
And from that is how I live my life. Like I cherish every friendship. I cherish every moment I meet someone. I know that we're in each other's life for a purpose, and I don't think of it as what can you do for me, as what can I do for you.
The service attitude.
That's all I care about, because in the end, he's going to take care of me.
Yeah.
Whether it's through you or someone else.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to do everything I can. Just like when I met you guys on this side to do this. Hey, how can I help y'all to make your podcast the way you would like it to be?
Right.
And you saw it. I go buy this, that. Yeah. I got this new thing. Let's every time.
Still buying, y'all.
But it's not for me. It's literally to make your experience great, because your smiles and you saying, right. That's my joy. That's my reward, to see that I pleased you. That's it. I can care less about anything else. I perform as a performer to see how I can please the audience, not for you to come and, oh, great show. And, I thank you. I greatly do, because, I put a lot of energy. You do. Right? Yeah. But at the same time, I only do it because I don't know where you are in your life. I don't know where you are in your relationship. I want to be that Band-Aid until the healing starts to take place. And if I can be the healer, let God use me. But if not, then let me be a part of the healing process. That's it.
Yeah. I love it. You need some hand claps after that.
Let me give him some.
And bombs.
Let me give him some hand claps. He done dropped that in here.
And before we go on, this is the perfect time to segue into our sponsors. Got to shout out, first of all, E.Q Studios. We're here, Exceptional Quality Studios, every Tuesday. The Grown Man Conversation. Wines with Brian. Keep on wine on deck. We got another little drink. We can't tell you about it yet, but we got another specialty drink over here, alcoholic.
Shout out to George.
Yes, over there. We'll tell you guys about it another time. Also have to give a shout out to Grown TV Network. You can always go to Grown TV Network after the show is over and watch the recap shows of Grown Man Conversations Visual Podcast. All the shows, as well as other content from other content creators from around the world. So we can get back into it now.
Oh, you can't forget Grown Fit. Throwing out names. You can't forget Grown Fit. Go to grownfitwear.com. Yes. Track suits, ladies, athletic apparel, and you need to get at us.
Yeah, I need to
make sure you DM me. I get it to you. I don't play. I'm better than FedEx.
Yes.
Much better than FedEx, boy. I get it to you. I am not playing about this situation. So get that Grown Fit, man.
He said better than FedEx.
I'm way better than FedEx. Dad, come on.
FedEx is terrible. So
are you kidding?
FedEx and Amazon.
Might not even say nothing to you.
Amazon get you something in 5 minutes.
I get
it. For the winner, baby.
Thanks.
Better than that.
Yeah. But look, so speaking on artists, one thing about Growing Conversations, we talk about, of course, not only the topic of whatever, our guest star, but we dive into all hot topics. And right now, what's a really hot topic that I think you both will have great feedback on and opinions on is the travesty that happened at Travis Scott concert. Right. And with you being entertainers, and I've heard so many different versions of what he should have done, what was going on, what could have happened, what was that, when you're on stage and all the lights are there, you really can't see what's going on. I heard somebody say, well, you can feel energy when you're on stage, and even if you don't know what's going on, you kind of see. And he should have seen the ambulance and the person that was going up stage. How, for one, this is a two-part question. I'm sure Tone has some part to ask too. But one, do you think he's at fault? For one, as an artist, I don't think he's at full fault. But do you think he's at fault? And then two, how would you have handled it? Is it something that you can handle when that kind of chaos happens? Or is it something that is really just out of your control?
Well, in my experience, I feel crowd-wise sometimes it's kind of out of your control. I will say with great power comes great responsibility. Even though the lights are in our face, you can see, like, how long was, my thing is, how long did he keep the show? Like, the ambulance came, whatever. Like, I know it took, about 20, 30 minutes,
Yeah,
maybe
it was
an
like
hour.
a 30-minute time span, I think.
Right.
30 or
So
40 minutes.
within that time, you saw something. Now, here's the thing, though. In my experience with Blackstreet, bro, keep going.
Right.
There was a time when I'm in Japan and
matter
I'm
what.
singing and I literally jump on stage because Teddy kept screaming, "I need you to give me more than that show. Give me more than that." So I jump on on a table, and the table's wobbling. It's almost about the size of this, and I don't know how to get down. So I stayed there basically for almost for the whole show, and I rocked it. Keep going. So I don't know because I wasn't there, Travis Scott. So I don't know what he saw or what triggered in his brain to keep going.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Or it could have been a Michael Jackson moment where you're assuming that these people are passing out because you're so great.
Ah,
Yeah.
So you keep going.
Yeah.
right.
If you hear people
'Cause keep
screaming,
going,
right,
right.
and the energy, right, you might have the left side going, yeah, because they don't know what's going on. Then you have the right side, everybody getting shot, stabbed, and killed. But all you're focusing on is the crowd that's going to give you the most energy, and you get caught up.
Right.
As an artist, you get caught up.
And
Like,
if you're not on the stage and you don't know that life, you don't know what it feels like because you're a different person up there.
yes,
You're a different. My wife told me the first time she saw me up there, she said she was scared of me. I was a total different person. And I always tell her before I go on stage, I got this vibe like this.
Your alter ego.
Right, like I'm a superhero. And if I don't go out there, trust me, I'm nervous. So if I'm out there like that and the whole time I'm like this on stage or whatever,
You're not even thinking.
I black out
the
when
show
I'm on
must
stage. I don't
the
see
show
nothing.
must go
I
on.
know you black out.
Yeah, I literally see nothing. First of all, the lights is blaring in your eyes. You're burning up.
And I'm not saying
And-
it's not in fault, but that's what he went through. The clips or whatever. Because if he did look over there, if he looked over there, he might have still been thinking, all right, come.
Well, he
Get back in it.
He
Get back
actually
in
saw
it.
the ambulance. He stopped for a couple of seconds, and he saw someone passing out, and he was like, "Let them get the body over." But I think he thought it was a pass out. You know, his crowd are known to be ragers. You know, because he actually even said, "Y'all want to get raged? Where my ragers at?" So they kind of got,
right.
you know. But I think, like you said, it was the excitement of being there.
Yeah, it's the moment. The moment.
I don't think an artist, depending on the situation, again, a very finite situation where artists get blamed for certain things happening in the crowd. You get paid to arrive and paid to perform. Those are two payments you get. First half and the second half. What happens, it's not that you shouldn't care, but what happens in the crowd is hard to control.
There you go.
First of all, your protection is
Good
number
word.
one, because you don't know what's going on in that crowd. It could be
Right.
shooting. It could be. That's why you have paid security, right? They're the eyes and ears. Now, if the security felt like there was a harm, they would have snatched him off the stage.
And maybe that's why he kept going, because they didn't come get me.
Right. He was safe to them. And this is all
Because keep
assumptions, right?
going.
Yeah.
You feel me? You stop now, remember? Hey, bro, the contract says this.
Yeah.
And they will. That's worse than. That's almost as worse as not performing.
But that's what I'm saying. If you don't know that life, as fans, as friends and family, if you don't know that life, you might not know what consists of that. Okay, there's a contract. If I jump off stage and it's supposed to be a 60-minute show or 30-minute show and I'm only doing 15 minutes, well, wait a minute. I've already accepted this money.
I've got to fulfill my
You
obligation.
Come
have
on,
to.
man.
You can get sued.
Come on, man.
It's that
And
serious.
all of that, I think, is important, which I hope plays out within this investigation that they're doing, because it's even the young lady, the young man who went up to the camera guy. It's like you were saying, the camera guy was paid to do a job, and he's got on headphones. And this girl was saying, someone's dead. And even though you can read her mouth, the cameraman just know, like, you was not supposed to be up on the stage, get off the stage. And
Right. Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
See, I didn't see all of it, so I didn't know that
So
happened.
they're
Wow.
even bringing that into it, saying that they knew that something was going on. They didn't stop the show, but that's the reason why I wanted to ask that question with the artists, because your mind.
And then you have a lot of people that cry wolf, because you never know that.
Right.
When you're at a situation where it's a group of people or whatever,
Trying to do something
non-fans
stupid.
that want to shut you down and make you look bad, and so everybody can talk bad about the show and how you stopped, how you walked off. They did that with Lauryn Hill. They ran this young lady to the dirt with that. Yeah, granted, she do show up late, because I've been to a couple of her shows, and sorry,
Shout
Lauren.
out to Lauren.
Yeah,
I love your music.
But at the same time, you get all this ridicule and all this criticism on what you should do, what you shouldn't do. First of all, your artist is not your superhero. First of all, they're paid personalities.
But
I'm gonna
great.
have to give him some.
Hold on. But I know,
Just like a football player, you are not a role model. You're a football player.
Give him some of that one right there. Give him some of that one
I
right
get it. But that's the same thing with all these presidents, and they say, hey, man.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go down the line. You keep stopping me.
Yeah,
brother.
presidents ain't role models
Nobody is
either.
your role model, but your role model.
I get it.
Yeah.
Whether it's
And we
it
get
should be
tired.
your parents or it should be
God.
whoever you serve.
Right.
That's the only role model that you should go
I
by.
get it.
These other
Right.
people are just like you, trying to figure things out.
Right.
They're getting
Human.
bum rushed by love.
Even
and-
pastors.
Yeah, right. They're getting bum rushed by love, accusations. You should have done this. Why didn't you speak out on? They did it to Michael Jordan back in the day. Why didn't you speak out on Black Lives Matter and all this and all that? Man, I'm here to play basketball, man.
Right. I
That-
didn't feel like
I'd rather
speaking
not say nothing than say the wrong thing. Because if I say the wrong thing, trying to say something, then I
Cancel
look like a
culture.
complete
out.
idiot.
Don't get you.
So
Practice.
win or lose, you're gonna lose. Period.
That's
So-
why I always say trace everything back to the money. Because Travis Scott is a different type of artist.
His crowd is a different type of crowd.
Right.
Meaning Travis Scott has a different type of money. Live Nation ain't funding Travis Scott. Travis Scott funding Live Nation. So it's the same thing as when Dame Dash went on with Def Jam, and Dame was cussing him out in the bathroom saying, y'all quarter waters. Like, we got all the responsibility. We 3/4, that's my money. Y'all ain't doing nothing but put a quarter up.
Wow.
So y'all ain't got no problems with having. That's my money out there
Right.
when we do these tours. With Travis Scott, it cannot tell the families of a tragedy like that, I'm going to take care of everybody's funeral expense. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Travis Scott got money. And his following is crazy. And so now what they do is we're going to go back and we're going to find sound bites of when he's telling his crowd to rage, when he's
course.
encouraging this type of behavior.
That's what the media does.
Well, that
of
goes.
course.
That's trace everything back to the money, because that opens up the avenue for your lawsuits.
Come on.
You see, and they're gonna keep on until they go from the venue to Live Nation
8
to
lawsuits
Travis
going on.
Scott.
Really?
And then you're gonna get that.
Hit him thus
Well,
far.
you definitely gonna get that,
But
because
how
it's
do-
like he's saying.
it's
that-
crazy
that-
because
That
how does
hasn't
a
included the families yet.
right and to bounce off of what you were about to say, how does a lawsuit solve a problem? If there was a real issue and he came up short, you getting money, how does that fix bereavement? How does
Stop
that
acting
fix-
like you don't know what this world is
No,
about.
I know,
Right.
but again, I still have to be a voice to say, what
Right.
difference does that make?
Right.
When people hurt people and you scream, lock them up,
You know?
did that bring your loved one back?
No, it did. Actually, it didn't. But sometimes
You just gave them a free vacation, though.
Yeah, but
they
the
get to be on
justification-
Facebook. They get to have sex. They get to trade like bitcoins in prison, which is called cigarettes. And they get to have 3 squares and a cot. They get to hang out with their homeboys. They get to lift weights.
But I think what it is for those families, for those people who have gone through something like that, because you're right, there's nothing that you could ever equate a life to money. It doesn't even compare. But what happens is if you do have money to get through that situation, because a lot of these families probably, their parents probably spent bill money to take their kids to the concert, first and foremost. So
Right.
within
I
that,
got you.
and they're not living those kind of lives. And then they're not expecting my child to die. Or my
Oh,
brother
shoot,
to
I'm about
die,
to
or
get
my
something of
father
this.
to die. Or my mother
I
to
get
die.
it, I
You know
get
what I
it.
mean? Whoever that was. And so if you're not even expecting it, and they might not have even had insurance. So when you put all those factors, I think it is the duty and the obligation of an artist on that level,
or the venue,
to say
the venue
to at least help in some kind of way. It's not going to vindicate the problem. It's not going to rectify the problem, but it's going to help those families through that. Because
but then how do you set the standard of, okay, if you go to a concert, if I go to a Tone concert, he's giving out jokes, I start laughing, I catch a cramp and break a rib.
Well, see, that's different.
No. I'm saying, right? Do I get 50,000?
No, because that's different.
If somebody stabs somebody because he laughed at something,
that's different. So what I see is, this is what I see. Because it's a thin line, and that's when it go to, like, when you're dealing with law and order and the courts and all of that. That's different if you're in a place of public saying he incited this.
Yeah, he's saying
and they're saying that he was forewarned beforehand that this might not be a good, you know what I mean? You might need to say something to regulate your crowd because they knocked down the VIP prior to the show even starting. They pushed down the barricades of the VIP. So this is what I'm saying. Okay, so venue wise, what's up with the security? Right. That's where I'm saying.
That's where it should fall, not the artist.
Like,
they should to do a show.
Know your crowd. I mean, know your artist. Know your
who's coming to your venue.
Right. Get the right amount of security. It should not fall on the artist. He showed up to do a job. He didn't scan the audience. He didn't scan to. That's what his manager does. His tour manager, his stage manager, all these managers that's getting paid. Yeah.
And then
that's when it gets touchy.
He didn't do nothing different with this concert.
Right. So how do you sue somebody for something that, if that's the case, they need to have insurance on the venue? I'm sure that they're right. Well, let the insurance firm pay for it. That's what they paid them for. Yeah. So why does the artist got to get hit in the head? Oh yeah, because now I can trend and go hot on the internet for blaming Travis for something that the venue that I went to. Do you blame do you sue the person driving the car?
Depends on the caliber of the accident.
Right. And if you wasn't in a car and got hit, then it's a whole different story. Right. But car on car is going to be insurance versus insurance. Right. Mm-hmm. That's it. So you need to sue the insurance, which is the venue. Mm-hmm. Leave Travis alone. I'm not a Travis advocate. I never met him. He never paid a bill for me. But as an artist or as somebody that's in front of the public,
because it could happen to you.
Right. Don't bother me. Bother if it's a situation like that. Look at the whole pie. Don't just eat the crust of the cheesecake.
Trust me,
eat the whole cake.
At the end of the day, everyone's looking for a come up, and they don't even care if they step on the next person.
Nah, because if you don't do it, somebody else will.
Right. Do you think this is going to change the way festivals?
Nope.
Yeah, I believe so. I do.
I think so.
I do.
Into what capacity?
Well, like the insurance. I think maybe.
This happened before, though.
Because this ain't the first time.
Well, it could be possibly that there might be
like this is the first show where you had a collapse.
Did they ever go to a No Limit concert?
You had a damn collapse at the bridge at the Speedway.
Yeah.
When the white folks was walking across the street.
Right.
Well, that was a collapse.
Do they call that, not an act of God, but do they call that like
No, they call that suit of hell out of Lowe's Motor Speedway. Because the structure is supposed to be able to have me walk across the street and not just fall for no reason. That's what that's called.
So, but this is what I'm saying. So that's the reason why they sued that situation. But she said that it was kind of not agitated, but like urged or provoked. Yeah, the good wording. Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with.
I'm just saying that's what
I know, but that's the easy angle.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? That's the easy angle.
Something, don't you have to kind of incorporate or include all those parts and factors into whatever the main cause, whatever the main bill?
All a lawyer does nowadays is find the weakest link, a crack in the door for them to get in. Let's do it this way.
Attorney's gonna be looking at you.
That's fine. Bring it.
I'm not gonna say his name, but wasn't there a politician who they said urged a riot?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. That the orange man.
Is it not
the orange man
did? Yes.
Donald.
Yes, Donald Orange.
That's my homie.
Listen,
that's my homie.
We ain't going there. We ain't going. Hey.
You got some of the PPP, huh?
you down with PPP?
Yeah, you know.
Oh my God.
Nah, I ain't getting no PPP. But yeah, so I think they need to leave. On that note, leave Travis. Quit trying to find a way in. If he did egg it on and all that good stuff, again, sue his company. leave the person out of it. He doesn't have that much
Well,
power.
hopefully he got his paperwork set up right so they can sue a
Oh, I'm
company
sure.
and not himself.
Right,
I'm
right,
sure.
wow, right,
Travis
right,
is
right.
a self-made millionaire.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sure.
So look, moving on to another hot topic, which I'm gonna start it, but I'm gonna let Tone carry it because that's more so. I'm not in the sports world like that, but this has been so heavy to the point that I was like,
But
can
how you
they
gonna start
please stop talking about somebody else?
Oh, that
All
drive.
right.
That Aaron,
I'm not
what's his
talking
name?
about that.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers.
in the shot.
What do y'all think about that whole
You talk about-
situation
so-
with him
so-
saying that he was immunized
He's saying he was immunized,
and not
so
vaccinated?
everyone assumed that he was vaccinated, and so
Oh, because he did the pneumonia shot and the flu shot.
right. So next thing you know, he caught COVID,
COVID.
Okay.
and he was around people / teammates / opponents / coaches / everybody / in press conference.
Right.
But people that got the shot still catch COVID and still spread it. So it's no
Right.
different.
He lied.
Right.
But they're trying to say
That's
he lied
but
and
see,
he
so hold on. This is what
omitted
they're.
the truth,
But this
rather.
is what they're
He
saying.
lied.
The analysts are saying. How many coaches and players lie when they get on?
Exactly.
About other things, but it's cool about the other things. But this, and I guess some are saying because it's, about, health and life and all that it's different.
They really going on how they talk about Kyrie
I wish I had a
not getting
meme
the
I
shot.
could.
Yeah,
of course.
and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's not the same energy.
Yeah.
And it's like Jay Will told Stephen A. Smith. He's like, I heard you when you first came out. You used to be Aaron Rodgers. That's my guy. And what he did, what else was wrong. But the way you went after Kyrie, he said, I want the same energy. When you talk about
Right.
Aaron Rodgers, as when you go after
Right.
Kyrie, he said what Kyrie did was stupid. He says, stupidest thing you ever seen in your life. He said it was selfish. He said it was basically because he is putting the team at risk, not really health-wise, but because they're not going to be able to get a championship.
Because he didn't
And
get
which David Banner said last week, you black butter biscuit Negro.
Really?
Is over here
I didn't hear that.
chastising your own people.
Black butter biscuit.
And it's the way that you talk to your own people over a shot. He said, you mad at Kyrie
Oh my
over he
God.
won't take a shot, but he puts himself at risk to win a championship. David Banner said, an imaginary championship,
Right.
a ring that he can go by himself.
Right.
But when he think for himself,
Right.
that's when we have the problem.
Yeah.
So you got Bradley Beal, who's not vaccinated.
Mm.
But he came and played a couple of weeks ago
Right,
against Brooklyn.
Well,
But Kyrie couldn't play
right.
because he lived there, and he got to be
Right.
vaccinated to play in
But
that
see-
stadium. But Bill can come.
Right.
So my point is, Kyrie, first of all, is not the only athlete that's not vaccinated.
Right.
Right.
But if you're vaccinated, what you worried about?
I'm like, so why he the poster boy
Right.
of not
So-
being
Ain't you
vaccinated?
safe?
So
Right.
supposedly.
Supposedly.
So-
Allegedly.
supposedly-
Right.
Listen.
So what are you so concerned about somebody else getting a shot? What
Because-
happened to rights though? You know what I'm
Because
saying?
that's selfish.
It's not selfish. What's
selfish.
selfish is
And
that you
he
think that
can't help
somebody's
the
supposed to
team
do what you're
win the
supposed to.
Stop
championship.
y'all acting like we don't live in a selfish country.
Society, yes. Period.
Listen,
That's why I pays
from
them no
slavery
mind.
on down.
Right.
Come, stop it.
I pays them
Like-
no mind.
Like at the end of the day, I'm not saying accept it, but just realize, like at the end of the day, where we've been, where we are.
Shit, you realize, but it's also a philosophy that says, speak your truth.
Yeah,
even to
yeah,
make
I'm
your
not-
voice
Even if it
shake.
make your
The
voice
last thing I'm going to do is go with the status quo.
I know, I
Same
get that.
You see what I mean?
No, I get that.
I don't give a damn. We live in a capitalistic society. Great.
Right.
Okay. I don't give a damn about your shot. If you got it, great. If you don't, great.
Right.
Every table
Right.
got to stand
Right.
on its own
Right.
legs.
Right.
But
See-
what I will do is think for my goddamn self.
And that's the crazy thing that these soldiers fight us for us, right? Freedom, right?
Right.
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 There's people who used to be upset about Kaepernick kneeling,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay, one, he was adopted by a white family.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I think he talked to a soldier and got permission, basically, to kneel.
Mm-hmm.
So what now? Y'all talk about he wants attention or he wants.
Kirk told you. Because you're not doing what they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what this is. This is a country where the major construct is for you to end up behind everybody else. the dominant society keeps moving your finish line.
Man, I used to wonder. I used to ask my mother. I said, "What if we all were the same color? Like seriously? Or what if there was no racism, no slavery? What would this world be like?"
And see, the crazy thing about that is, which we're not going to get into this deep of a conversation, but I believe that can exist. But that is because of my spiritual faith. So it has nothing to do with man. It has nothing to do with this local or worldly reality that we live in. My spiritual faith says that has existed before and that can exist again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's like I said, might not be, you know what I mean? No mankind's on this earth that's doing it, and it may take a higher intervene in order for that to
it's got to take a higher.
It's got to take a higher
It's got to
intervene in order for that to happen. But I think that that's definitely something that is attainable. I believe.
And what I have to say to that is, I agree, right? First of all, on both ends. But like I tell people all the time, if that happened, what difference would it make?
What do you say?
Now he's talking about if everything is equal,
if everything coexisted together
Right.
equally.
Well, I think the difference it would make is some of the hardship
Right,
that we have
right.
been through.
But overall,
I think we've been
take out
hurt
the
so
negative,
much.
right? And just think, if everything was, think about all the good that's going on in between the madness, right? If all that
mentality
push,
are still stuck where they are.
it's nothing
and they
would
can't
really
get out of it.
change because
The prejudice can't get out of it, and the people, the people who have been hurt, like the
mindset
black,
who have enslaved,
yeah,
or
right,
been
the
enslaved.
hood and the ghetto, they're still going to feel victimized regardless because it's the mindset. Remember we were talking about when we
you're
first
gonna
started,
always
the choice.
be bored if everything was great. Like, what do you look forward to every single day?
That's
Now.
the yin and the yang.
Right.
Right,
You
right.
look for,
It's
I
got to
wonder
be a
what's going to
balance.
happen today.
It's
Even
a
though you
seesaw.
don't want to hear nothing bad,
Right.
you're expecting it.
Right.
Now, if you wake up today and everything is great, it's kind of like,
You think you're already gonna put in your
Yeah,
mind.
let's
something
try
bad's
tomorrow.
gonna happen.
Well, that go back to perception. Because I just heard you say bad. Shakespeare said there's no good and bad. It's only what your mind tells it to be. So if you go up to some people and say, my father just died, they'll find every reason to show you the positivity and what just happened to your father. You
Right,
go to
right.
somebody else, they'll cry 30 minutes and tell you how sorry they feel for you.
Change
It's
the narrative,
all
yes.
perception.
Yeah.
The two hardest things in life is change and death. Because in both of those instances, all you have left are memories. That's what you fight with. Memories.
Good
So
stuff,
every
bro.
day that you get up, you are creating
Good stuff, bro.
memories.
Good
Every day that
stuff.
you get up,
Oof.
you creating memories because the last thing to leave you physically is your hearing. So before the soul moves, that's why I talked to my mom when I was in the hospital. Even though she was up to all the machines. When I talked to my mom and the machine would move when I would say certain things. Her blood pressure would go up when I would say certain things. She would start to cry when I would say certain things in her ear. So every time you get up and you have a chance to be around people, that's why they say try to keep your memories when you're around people. Try to keep it as best and positive of experience because all four of us could leave here tonight.
Yeah, and
You ain't got no guarantee that you're going to get home. We just say that because it's cliche. Talk
Right.
to you later. I'll call you when I get
Wow.
home. No one
Wow.
told you you'd make it home.
Wow.
There's been a lot of people that said, I'll call you when I
Wow.
get home.
Talk
and they
about
never
it.
made a phone call. There's been a lot of people that say, I'll holler at you tomorrow. Never got a chance to holler
Right,
at you.
right.
So we take those things for granted, you know? And so when you talk about good and bad, it's all perception.
and
It's all perception.
I agree with that because I was watching a show. Oh my God, I forgot the name of it, but it's a police show with Stabler. I think it's Stabler from Law and Order.
That's
He had
Law
his-
and Order. He got his own
Right.
spinoff.
So the coroner told the young lady, before you view this dead body and verify that this is the person, I want you to bring a picture and put it at the foot of this dead person. And when you look at this person, look directly back at that picture. First, I was like, that's weird. They peeled it back. She saw her. She started crying. Then she looked at the picture. And the last thing her mind remembered
was that picture. of
was
her
that
alive.
picture of her alive hugging her. So and I didn't get that until at first I was like, why did he do that? When he covered it back up and she walked out, the lady asked, what was that all about? And he was like, the mind can only capture the last thing on the last moment that you was in that moment. So all that girl's gonna remember, she's gonna remember seeing her,
Right.
but that's not the final.
Moment that she'll have.
She's gonna remember that picture of them hugging as best friends was the last thing. I was like, wow, it's crazy that you brought that back to.
That's how powerful the mind.
The mind is, and if we know that,
And
then we can
that's
tap
all
into that.
marketing, and that's why they go heavy on marketing and trying to make you buy this and buy that and have this, and you gotta live this way and you gotta have that, and you gotta be 6 figures or more to succeed. You gotta have a 2-income household and da da da. No, you don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to go to college.
Right.
Right.
You don't have to do nothing. My parents, granted, they didn't have the life and luxury, but they went to Jamaica every year.
Right.
Didn't graduate high school. Every year, worked their job, still had their parties, laughed and drank, and enjoyed life, and watched 7 of their kids go to college,
Right.
and didn't pay one dime for us to go to school.
That's amazing, bro. That's
Wow.
what's up.
Hand clap for that.
I gotta say this right quick. Thank you for watching us on Facebook. He just did he just made a comment.
What up, Michael?
And I gotta address your comment that you made, Michael. Okay. But he says, hi Yolanda, hi Tone in White Square. He said he was at the show last week. He said, Tone, you did your thing. All the acts were top notch, including Royalty and King, and I kind of He said, but the sound engineers on the second part of the show sucked. I hope they can get paid.
Uh-oh.
So, Michael, first of all, we have nothing to do with the sound engineers on the second part of the show.
Don't sue us.
Right, we are here at E.Q Studios.
Right. I'm glad it wasn't
There
E.Q
is
Studios
Thanks
sound
for bringing it to our
quality.
attention, though.
Yeah, exceptional quality.
You know what I mean?
Thank
We
you
make
for
a
bringing
mental
back-
note of that.
Yeah, but that goes back to the Blumenthal, you know what I mean, and the Belk Theater. You know, the opening acts had their own sound man. But when Jagged Edge got on stage, I can't tell you nothing about their sound or what went on. But I can tell you, if you were there in the building, and you said you was there, but the sound sounded great to me. Didn't it sound great to you?
It kept
Oh, so
wooing.
Jagged
It
Edge?
kept wooing.
Yeah.
Jagged Edge
Jagged
was
Edge.
terrible. So here's what happens when that is. Sometimes if they don't show up to
Sound
But
check,
sound check.
that's what happens.
Yeah.
But even with sound check, I know y'all's is different because Teddy makes sure everything
3
is
hours.
right.
Key Sweat too.
If
4
you
or
have
5
other
hours.
artists before you, unless you have your own setup,
man, the
yeah,
levels
it's
change.
over with.
They
It changed
change.
every. That's why I can't stand sound check because it's never
Well,
gonna
yeah.
be the same.
So
Never.
like
Because you're sound checking in an empty building, first of all.
Right.
So you don't know how
And when
loud to
people
turn
come
it up.
in, the acoustics get different.
It changes completely.
Yeah.
And then you're going in, the next person come behind you. They didn't mix master.
Yeah.
They didn't
They
do
didn't-
anything correct, so everything
The
changed.
levels gotta,
So you think the sound man actually took mental
Right.
notes and said,
so hold on. If they did have,
No.
which they're supposed to,
not unless it's a tour,
Right.
watch this. So if they did have their own sounds,
They
man,
didn't.
which they're supposed,
they're their own DJ, the female DJ.
Because
She was a beat.
Yeah,
But what happened
they're
was
supposed to have a setting of save,
no.
and
They might, not
every
have
member.
been, they might not have been a sound check.
They
See,
were.
I know
I'm telling you,
Nah,
did.
they weren't.
Royalty
Nah.
and I Kind of Truth was the sound
Yeah.
check.
Okay.
So what
Okay.
happened was the
Jagged
the
Edge
stage
might not have
monitors,
showed up.
the wedges were strictly vocals.
No shade to Jagged Edge.
Yeah, no shade,
we love you,
y'all
bro.
did good.
We
I
love you,
love
bros.
y'all.
No, this show was crazy.
Oh yeah, it was great. They
we
still
talk about
killed
sound,
it.
man.
They killed it.
Right,
So
right.
the wedges was strictly vocals, no music. So the music was playing in the house. So you know that was bounce, bounce, bounce,
Right.
bounce. It was I couldn't barely catch myself until I started doing this. I did the J Styles, tap your legs.
That's how you was
Yeah.
able to catch the beat.
That's
with
it, because it
yourself?
kept bouncing.
Oh,
So there's
gotcha,
always
gotcha,
a half
gotcha,
millisecond
gotcha.
delay when it's playing through the house, not on the stage.
Oh.
I'm just like,
I'm gonna get you some in ears. If
I
they
got
allowed
some.
you, yeah.
I got some, but
Because
I don't go.
you'll hear better than the crowd. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but see, that's what happened, Michael. So I just wanted to address, because you made this comment up here, I wanted to address what happened because it was a phenomenal show. And you said that they shouldn't get paid. Don't take no money out of nobody's pocket. 'Cause you don't know what happened.
Yeah, he said great
Right.
show. Sound
Great
was
show,
very disappointed.
Right.
All right. All
Maybe
right.
they
Well,
shouldn't have got paid.
well, you know,
Next
Michael,
time they
thank
get
you
it
for
together.
coming to the show. And
They
thank you
might
for
have-
the positive comments.
They might have got docked. Trust me.
Yeah, they might have.
They might have got docked.
they might
I
have.
know in my situations, these sound engineers and monitor engineers,
They get docked.
they get docked.
But that's based on the promoter too.
Yeah.
If he realized all was
Oh
going on.
no, the
Yeah,
artist
everything.
hears.
No, the artists are here. They'll say something, but again, it falls back on the promoter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If they didn't have, if that's their, so I'm sorry. I was speaking on our own.
Right.
personal
Y'all
sound.
got y'all.
Right.
Y'all,
I
y'all
got
are
you.
20
And the
piece.
easiest sound check in the world is for a comedian.
Right.
Yeah, as long as the mic
Oh,
come
you got
on.
hello,
Long as tone
check 1 2.
sounds
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gone.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it was a fantastic show, man. The energy was crazy.
Oh, it was solid, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. I
Solid
love
show.
it.
Solid
there,
show.
man.
And now it's time to say goodbye to all our Negro friends.
N-I-G.
Do that.
G-E-R-M-O-U-S.
FLAGGED. And your ass ain't got flag. You try to give it.
Right,
They knocking black folk off left and right on YouTube platforms. Like, there's certain words you can't even say. We got to
We
say
spelled it
vacation
out.
now. We got to say sharpshooters.
Yeah. Did
They
you get,
taking
did you
you
get
off
the
of
email
here.
this morning about according to Google, they're blaming the government, of course, but they're gonna start charging for Gmail accounts.
Are
What?
you serious?
Check your email.
Gmail accounts.
I saw a Google update and said that I didn't read the update though. It was like this
I
was-
read it.
Listen,
our terms and policies or something like that has changed. How much they charging for?
They haven't said anything.
But
yet.
if you already have one,
They haven't said nothing yet.
well, they ain't about to tax me for my Gmail
Yeah,
that I done had
listen.
for 19 years.
Well, who you gonna tell that to?
Right.
I was about to say, what
Like, who you-
control?
who you gonna
Listen,
go to?
everybody
Well,
think they
I'm
You gonna
gangster.
go to the Google,
listen,
the Google
start
Council
email
and be like, yo,
I
I'm
got
not
some
gonna do
real
it. They
gangster
like, okay,
friends.
don't do it.
Right.
Listen, I got some
They
real
don't
gangster
say,
friends,
don't
and I
do
always
it.
tell them, y'all ain't gangster. The government is gangster.
Yes.
The government is
I got
gangster.
some government gangster friends.
You damn right the government gangs when they tell you get a jab or lose your job.
And if you
How much more gangster
if
is
you
that?
make over $600 of a deposit in your account, they're monitoring your accounts going forward,
Right.
according to your
Oh,
president.
really?
According to your president.
Say what? Now say that again.
That's who y'all voted for.
Say
No,
that
that's
again.
who they voted for.
No, but
That's
what
who
they-
y'all
what
went in the
you
booth
say,
and
man?
hit the button
I
for.
voted for me.
$600 or more deposited into your bank.
Nobody else
They
voted.
have the right to monitor your account.
But that's just like when you go to buy a car and it was like, you
Get
bring
up
more
out.
than
Get up out my
9,000
Whatever
cash.
happened to 9,999?
Right, you can, they're gonna monitor
My
you.
homeboy said his money is under his house.
Well, I got something I could send you right now that'll blow your mind. It's a young man to tell you, do not keep your money in the bank. And he's telling you the reasons why. It'll mess you up. Listen, let me say this right here. The reason why we do damn near 99.9% of the shit that we do, number one, is subconscious. Subconscious moves you more than 92%. It's less than 10% that you actually have control on in your move. Number two is trauma. Some shit that happened to you when you was 3-4 years old that you done forgot about. You ain't never went back to see what was the trauma trigger. But how can you fix a problem with the same mindset that caused it? So now you got to go outside of yourself, and now you're talking plant medicine. That's a whole nother different conversation right there. And number three, deep down inside, a lot of us are scared of the boogeyman. You said the real gangsters, the government. Well, a lot of us are scared of the boogeyman. Same reason a lot of people say black folk loud, but with the white folk. It's the same reason. The same reason why you close your eyes when you say grace instead of keeping your eyes open. Because every damn
Watch
thing is
as well
being
as pray.
snatched over your head while you're looking at the ground. That's why you're missing it. The
I had a
shot,
pastor say
the
that.
jab.
Tell me that,
If
too.
they're doing a jab over here, and it's causing all this attention over here, then what they doing over here? And when they swing it back around, you're going to be to miss the boat. So a lot of the stuff we do it because it's in us. We've been doing it since
taught,
this.
yeah.
So when you be like, man, take your money out of the bank, people are like, what? Why would you do that? Never mind.
My father tells me that all the time.
You'll never
Take
get
it
it.
off.
Some people ain't going to change. There's a quote, my tweet of the day was from Ava DuVernay. It was a conversation to James Baldwin from a gentleman, and basically he was saying, the ones who tell you leave politics out of your art are the same ones who will tell you that they are fine the way that things are. So integrity looks crazy to the coward.
Wow.
So it's going to be some times when you stand,
love 'em even more,
when you
don't you?
stand on your own 10 and you ain't going to be doing what nobody else is doing. But that's the beauty of standing
Oh, trust me.
on your own 10.
I live on my 10.
Because most people are standing on someone else's tent.
Yeah.
You're not standing on your own, even though you tell people. Just like when people say, I don't give a damn what nobody say. You give a damn what 99% of the people say.
Oh, yeah. That's why you said that.
You give less than a damn about what
that's
you
you trying
say
to subconsciously trick yourself.
than what people say.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like people pray this way instead of this way. How do you receive with your hands closed?
Come on, bro.
And
Because it's the
who
natural,
initiated that?
right?
Yeah, who-
That's the natural
we've been
thing to do. It's
trained, man.
It's to be conditioned.
And the conditioning is crazy because it will keep you in your same situation. It will keep you arguing with someone or a system
It's called
that
whack
don't
tradition,
give a damn about
man.
you. Because one of the things that make me, I don't understand is why are you trying to get along or get somebody to like you that don't give a damn about you?
Yeah.
If some parents that you didn't get along with, they didn't give a damn about you, but they invited your kid to their house for a sleepover, why would you take your kid down there just to look like you trying to be in? Like the days of going along to get along, that shit's done.
Yeah.
Been done.
That shit done. That if you afraid,
Preach to me, bro.
Like Farrakhan
Preach
said, if
to
you afraid,
me.
stay in the house.
Come on.
Because we ain't talking to you. Because you handkerchief head Negroes gonna get somebody killed. Because when it's time to go forward, y'all gonna be stutter stepping, tap dancing, looking for butter biscuits and catfish nuggets. The same thing that Biden gave you. But the nuggets is gone, the macaroni and cheese is gone, and the butter biscuits is over. And now you looking around, licking your lips and doing like this. But the Asians got a goddamn crime bill that was passed on the first go round. The LGBTQ plus, they running circles around black folk.
Oh, come on now.
Niggas ain't got shit. But Al,
We still on?
but yeah, we on.
Yeah, okay.
Niggas ain't got shit. Niggas ain't got shit. But Al, but Reverend Al over there dancing a jig. That's what you're getting. And Kamala Harris done did a Copperfield because she done pulled a disappearing act on your ass. So now you're sitting out here talking about, well, what happened? Same thing that's been happening.
She
These
been that
same,
way.
but I'll tell you what they did give you. They made November official hip hop month.
Oh, really? Wow.
They gave me Juneteenth.
Yep,
Finally.
that's a national holiday.
Right.
Juneteenth. They
I
wore the
remember
white
that.
folk wore kente cloth at the Senate to give you that one. So you got that one too. Yeah, you got that one.
But
remember that.
but you feel like not you, but people feel
I know
like
what you're
now
doing.
we have made a step forward. You ain't made no darn step.
Everybody
Right.
getting money but you.
Especially when
Everybody getting money and bills passed but you.
Exactly.
But that goes back then, does that go back to our kingship? And understanding who we are and who we were from
Right.
the beginning?
it's at
And
least
from
at
the
least
origin?
part of it.
Yeah,
at least
and
part of it.
tapping into that.
Because
and
when you
not-
don't know who you are, you would fall for
succumb
anything.
to anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
But once you find that out, you don't need styles to be grouped up with you for you to move to the next level.
Right.
You move and bring him along.
Right. But that's a part of that teamwork make the dream work.
But you need to move
Yeah.
and bring him
Yeah.
along.
Right.
Don't wait on him to move.
Right.
You have to move and bring him along.
Right.
We don't try to bring each other along. We say it in a cliche as, you know what I'm saying, when I make it, we all
Right,
make
we
it.
all make it, but you're
Jigga,
Crap.
right.
that is not true.
Right.
You're
Nah.
supposed to be working while I'm working, so I
Working
don't even
still.
have to
Absolutely.
think
And
about
we
bringing you
come
along. You
together,
already
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
You've been in your position.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Harriet Tubman did. For the
Right,
Underground
word.
Railroad.
Don't get me
And
started.
then you can get enough people to stop grouping themselves
Right.
That's
and letting, you ain't no
I'm so-
Democrat.
come on, man.
You ain't no Republican.
Listen, man.
Man, let me tell you something. You fell for the okie-doke again.
Still.
Call it for what it is.
Not again, Tone. Still.
Still. You fell for it again. This is what they do. They treat black folk like a female that come into town every 4 years. Everybody want to holler at her, and everybody want to see her, and everybody want to take her everywhere. And as soon as election over, you don't see her no more. Nobody want to
I done hit.
They want to do it. So that's what they do with black folk. We got 4 years to get them together.
Right, right.
So we can get these votes, so we can get back and do what? Nothing.
Same old.
Barack ain't do nothing for you. But you loved him
Right.
because he was a
I
black
totally
president.
agree.
man.
He didn't.
Black.
He didn't.
Half
But you
black
loved
president.
him, right? Because it was Barack Obama and so and so and so. And so
Now,
and
let,
so
let me
and
ask
so.
you this.
He had
Can-
two black
can-
attorney generals under him and still had the
Can-
highest rate
but
of people
watch this.
killed under the presidency.
Can they do something for us?
Who?
Who?
presidents. Period.
Oh no! First of all, no politician is going to do nothing for you. The
They're not designed to do
Honorable
nothing
Elijah
for you.
There we
Muhammad
go.
had it here since
There we go.
1932.
And if
It's
they
called
do,
do
they
for
gonna get
self.
assassinated.
Right.
It's called
Talk
do for
about it.
self.
Shot.
So you do for self. There's
However you
no
wanna say it.
politician that's going to
Unfunded.
come in your community and do anything for you. No one's going to do anything for
that's
you.
what-
Jesus ain't going to do nothing for you. But they made you buy into that too. Like he was Merlin the Wizard, a white man that looked like he rode a Harley Davidson into a goddamn concert. And he waved a wand around and you wake up and all your black problems are gone. When? When they gone.
Even he said in Matthew 26, you go therefore teach
Right.
all nation, baptizing them in
Right.
the Father.
He say, I
You
ain't
go
gonna-
do
right,
something.
right,
right.
And do what? And then compel them to come. Again, you go first.
Right.
Come on, brother.
Bring them back to
We
me.
won't go until it's like we waiting for a word. But from who?
What word?
Like the word should come
Yeah,
from
inner
yourself.
word. Yeah, inner self.
Like what you see when you look in the mirror.
You are the word. though.
Listen,
Exactly.
You've been the word.
basically,
Exactly.
the kingship, when you don't know who you are,
Then you don't know who to be.
there you go. There it is.
Right.
That
When
should
you
be
don't know
that
who
should
you
be
are.
all over the world.
That should be.
But
That
you
should be
say
a
when you don't know who
commercial.
you are, you
You
don't
don't
know
know who to be.
You don't
who
know
to be.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's why they can tell you have ADH, LMNODP. They can tell you that you're hypertension. You have
Yeah.
what is it? Mental health.
Yeah.
We all got
Or you
mental
all
health.
over the place.
We do.
It's whether it's healthy or unhealthy.
Unhealthy at that moment.
It's still mental health.
Exactly.
That's not a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Just
a
like
state
what
of
you're
mind.
saying, a tragic something that happened to us when we were young or whatever. You have no idea, and it can be minute.
Oh yeah, it would be small.
That we've tucked in and pretend.
It's a sinner, saved, Christian, Muslim. You want to belong to something. Everybody wants to belong to something. Straight, gay, indifferent. You want to
Yeah.
belong to something instead of just belonging to yourself.
But if you don't know who you
Or then you.
That's why I was
what
going
are
right
you
back to it.
belonging
Yeah.
to? How many men who have grown up, or even women too, but at least mostly men who've grown up in a single parent home who didn't have the father figure and turned to gang members or whatever as a family. And watch this. Half of them gang members grew up without a father as well.
Right.
So they just freestyling.
Right.
And it becomes
According to status quo,
Right. and
my
that's
parents
just-
never graduated school, so I'm supposed to be everything but
Right.
successful.
Right.
Everything but
Mm-hmm.
successful.
Yeah.
I was literally right here. I won't say names or affiliations.
Right.
This guy made $500,000 a week doing wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. You better speak it. Look, I'm trying to pull up because, and that's what it's about.
Don't
A
pull
little-
up nothing. My dad.
A little bit of that education. I'm not pulling
I
up.
could have easily been rich long time ago.
Yeah.
I could have easily been everything everybody else choose to be long time ago. Nobody stopped me. Me.
there would have never been a joy.
Right.
It would have never been me.
Right.
Right. And
Because
what
at
was this-
23, I tried to, listen,
Right.
take it all
Right.
3 times
Right.
and failed. I'm a failure at killing myself.
Come on now. But what was exciting to me is something that I did where I kind of looked up on my ancestry, finding some ancestry twins. But I ran up upon this queen, Ronavalu. I gotta say it right because Google had me off. But Ronavalu.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Google.
Right. Take your time.
Ranavalona.
Take your
Oh,
time.
Google.
Ranavalona.
Oh,
And I think I'm
they
saying-
tried to charge her. That's why she.
Exactly. But what she was the last sovereign of the kingdom of Madagascar, and she ruled from July 30th to 1883 to February 28th, 1897. But I'm only saying that to say that some of those things sometimes, because when we know better, we do better. If you know where you came
Right.
from, we just talked about if you know who you are, then you know how to be. If you understand the root and the cloth that you're cut from, even if you weren't there in that time, even if you those inspirations and those things, it made me understand the thick skin that I have. If she was a sovereign and a ruler and someone that came in Madagascar and she was able to, like, that now makes me identify and not make me be ashamed when I speak up.
Absolutely.
Not make me be ashamed when I have a voice. To understand that I have ancestral roots that are pushing strength through me. So I'm just saying that sometimes those are the things that we may be able to pull back into to make that different change for the generation that is coming up now.
That's my biggest thing. That every artist that comes in my studio, there's going to be a piece of some type of mentorship that I'm giving them. Always talk about, because there's a lot of artists that come in there that they might suffer from depression or anxiety, and always, especially when I'm vocal training. Shout out to Thumbtack. I was the #1 vocal trainer for 2 years straight with Thumbtack. Anyways, but literally, I teach them about confidence and we listen, mess it up. Who cares about that? We start over, whatever. And I express to them, once they get past their fear in here, they can connect it with their lives because they'll know who they are. Every professional, from comedian to an artist or an athlete or an actor, the reason why they're great at what they do is because they know who they are, what we just talked about. Yeah. They know, I know I'm great. I told y'all, my wife just said, I told you what my wife said. She was, scared because I'm on stage and I ain't the husband. I ain't the daddy.
Right.
He's 6 foot on stage. Yeah. He's 6 foot. That brother's 6 foot.
But anyways, at the end of the day, man, I just believe that all of what we talked about should be shared. Absolutely. Every time we see especially our people, and we've been torn down so much from slavery on. I told somebody the other day, one of my Caucasian fans, I said, "Do you understand what it felt like to see the Black Panther?"
Yeah.
Think about it. I said, "Close your eyes. I want you to look at Superman. I want you to look at Spider-Man. That's all we had." Now, what if, my parents are still together, still married. But what if I didn't have my dad in my home as a hero?
Exactly. And the Black Panther was new for me because I didn't realize there was a comic book Black Panther. I'm thinking of Black Panther.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that either. You know what I mean? Protecting the hood, not as a superhero. Right. So that was even enlightening to me to find out.
Me too.
And then when I'm gonna tell you, I got emotional when I saw the first year that that movie came out. I saw a little white boy for Halloween dressed as
the Black Panther.
I got chills and I got emotional because that's what we did as Black people. We wore the other race, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I have a best friend who says it's hard for Caucasian people to study under the leadership of Black pastors, versus the other way around because we're used to that.
Right.
But it's very challenging. Or it's really some work. But you could have all day a whole Black congregation or 60-40% of Black follow a white pastor.
Well, you know what's more challenging than that? You know why they follow a white pastor? Think about this. Suppose you're talking about a hero. Suppose my son would have been looking at Jesus' picture, and the whole time he looked like him.
Come on, man.
Right. That's
exactly.
Then I wouldn't need no damn Black Panther.
And
I wouldn't need to dress up like nobody. I can be like, you look like Jesus. What other example? So it must be a reason why it never looked geographically the way it was supposed to, and it ended up looking like, and that's all you've been looking at. So subconsciously, that's been your master all your goddamn life.
Come on, man. Listen,
but we try to downplay. Well, no, it's not Jesus. It doesn't matter what it. All right, well,
it's been driven in us, bro. It's been driven in us. So watch this. So
we know now, and nobody's fixing it.
So that's what we got to do better.
Who's fixing it?
That's what a part of the do better.
Instead of turning Jesus into the enemy, how do you fix that imprint?
That picture you see all the time like this.
Yeah.
I know you've seen that fan in the Black church. Jesus knocking on the front door. And
knocking out
look like a white man asking for directions.
That goes back to me educating ourselves and doing your own research.
Right. And here's the thing.
Be the Mary Magdalene. Be the Joseph.
Yeah. Here's the
thing.
You know
what I mean?
And
be the Mary
and
the Joseph of your
Who had all them wives?
Solomon.
Peter Solomon.
And I'm speaking to all of our
As long as your
Caucasian.
last
Peter
name
Solomon,
ain't Solomon
baby.
Belser.
I'm speaking to all our.
Yeah, 700 of
No,
them.
you won't.
I'm speaking to.
Concubines.
Listen.
He had a wife and a couple of concubines.
And a few.
Watch this. I'm speaking to all our Caucasian viewers and
Caucasian.
fans, white or
Right. Why
They're
not?
white.
Hello,
So we're black.
Caucasian.
They're white.
yeah.
It's okay.
So at the end of the day, my biggest thing that I talk to my white friends is understanding, and my wife who's mixed, mom's white and dad's black. Her and I always converse about this all the time, and she always says that sometimes you can't expect people to understand something that they've never been in. And it's like one day I was talking to one of my friends we had a white friend with us, and my black friend was going in on racism and everything, and my white friend was just sitting there like this. And for the first time, I was like, man, I never thought about what I would feel like if I like black people, and I'm not racism, but I'd feel ashamed for my people. I feel like we,
feel
we
attacked.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Maybe, maybe
Yeah.
attack.
Not in a.
It's a whole bunch of feelings, like
Yes.
there. Now, so and this is what I told one of my friends. I step back and I try my best to feel what you possibly can feel, but do you try your best to feel?
Right. I was gonna say because that's
Do
the
you
part
try your
of,
best to feel?
that humility to get into another
Right.
person's shoes, and that's different because they can't. It's hard to feel what someone is feel if you've never ever experienced
Right.
that.
So I try my best to say, okay, you know what? You won't get it. You know what I'm saying?
And when
They
the
won't.
rules and
Yeah.
the game is set up for you not to get it, that's
You'll
what makes
never
it even
feel
worse.
what your wife feels.
But see,
on
me
a
coming from
period.
somewhere
You'll never
else.
feel that.
So me coming
On
from
pregnancy.
somewhere else that I never got introduced to racism or the thought or the conversation of racism until I came to the States.
I can believe that.
Right.
It's
Right.
like I
Every Japanese
You're right.
from India, my clients from India, my artists from India,
None of them.
their families, bruh.
So the first time I came over here, the kids in my neighborhood would knock on my door, my parents' door, ask me to come outside. So I'm thinking I'm the new kid on the block. I get to meet some friends, whatever the case may be. They would take me and slam me on the ground and laugh and say, "Oh, you Jamaican me crazy. I thought Jamaicans was crazy."
Wow.
Then about the third time when they did it, that was the last time that
Yeah,
they did
because
it.
I was gonna say you.
Because now I know you're
Fucked
not
up
trying to be a
home.
friend of mine,
blood
and
clotting. But
it's not funny.
When I deal
I'm
with
the
it,
joke.
no sir.
You're not gonna make me the joke because that's not what I signed
Right,
up for.
right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So from that point, I realized that I'm not going to fit in. So I just have to keep moving the way that I move. So when I talk to my white friends, black in betweens, I just talk to them. I don't consider how they may feel about a certain thing. I'm gonna speak. If it offends you that you're of a different race and you don't see it that way, blah 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 blah. And of course, I'm not speaking ignorance. I'm gonna just speak. Like if I say, I should have gotten the position over you, I'm gonna say, you know what, man? I went to school. I did this, that, and the third. I know this person. I know they know what I do. I think I shouldn't have got the job over you. If the person says to me, "Well, how
Why
dare
would you
you?
say
Or
that?
how dare you say that?" How else am I supposed to say it? Am I supposed to consider your feelings that means absolutely nothing over facts? And that's how I live my life this entire time. Styles will tell you, Woods will tell you, y'all should know by now, my circle is this big. And it's not because I don't like people or none of that. It's that people, for some reason, if they can't get their way, they move on. And that's fine with me. Because I'm still going to
Continue
proceed.
be on your pursuit.
Yeah, it's irrelevant to me. That's the last thing my mama, what she's always taught me. It's the main thing I remember. You keep going.
Yeah.
When people leave, owning the barbershop, chairs are rotational, right?
That's
When they
'cause you-
leave, it's like, oh, what are you going to do? When we going to fill the next one?
But that's because you know who
When
you
it gets
are.
filled. I don't go hunting for barbers and all this and all that. I don't go hunting for engineers.
That's because you know who you are, though.
Right.
I'm
No, I know,
No,
and that's my
you
point.
know
It's
that.
like
Exactly.
You don't know.
you realize
That's-
you stop appeasing people, man, and just not being arrogant or ignorant,
yeah,
right?
Cocky, but
No,
but
and then people borderline cross that and say, "Oh, you just full of yourself. You just think you all that."
Right.
I
There
am.
you go.
You
Good
don't
stuff.
think so.
and it's
stuff.
up to you
Good
to
stuff.
figure out
That's
that I
your
am
problem.
all that.
Listen, I told a
You're
guy.
all that too.
Exactly.
Act like it.
Exactly.
Why would
Exactly.
you settle for less to worry about my feelings?
Right.
My feelings are not valid. To me, a feelings is like a butthole. Everybody has one.
But feelings need to be felt and heard at times.
No,
I feel
they
you.
need to be heard. They don't need to be felt.
No, feelings
Because
need
you're
to be
gonna
felt.
always be desensitized to.
I agree with both. I
No,
agree
what
with
she's
both.
saying is
I agree with both.
feelings are emotions
That
that need to be felt.
You
Meaning it's energy
Or even
that
self-wise.
you don't want to.
Okay.
If something happens with Yolanda and tears come to my eye, there's no need for me to try to pull the tears up and be like, well, no, and if that's a cry, then you do that. Because
Right.
what happens is you'll put them under the rug, and then it'll escalate.
at the wrong
Right.
And then
time.
it'll come out at
I got you.
the wrong
I
time.
got you. I got you.
So the thing is, when people say, you don't take my feelings
In consideration.
into consideration, that's really a generalized, broad fluff statement that carries no weight.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
you are trying to make someone
Selfish kind of.
feel that your feelings are somehow
Greater
put
than yours.
in a situation where no matter what you're saying, whether it's factual or not, you are still hurting my feelings, meaning the way that I feel about it is still not adequate to what you're saying. So you're still hurting my feelings. Well, that's a blanket statement because everybody has feelings, just like you said, but why are your feelings so
valid.
important? And then why are they hurt by what we're talking
Come
about?
on. Come on.
If we're having a conversation,
But see, that's where that comes into, and I will say, as the woman in this group
Uh-huh.
right now,
Let her
and
talk as a woman.
as a life as a nurturer,
Okay.
That's where empathy and sympathy comes into play. So no.
Now you
I
guys feel
cannot
that
take on-
a little more than we do.
Yeah, now I cannot take on all of your feelings and your emotions. But as a sympathetic person and as an empathetic person, meaning sympathy, I've probably gone through the same thing. So now I recognize maybe what my action or my voice or my tone did. So let's bring it back to get to the real root of what it is
That's
we're
my
dealing
point.
with. Or empathy, meaning I ain't never dealt with that, but I'm not going to shut you down and negate
I
how
got
you
you.
feel.
I got you. I got you.
And negate your feelings and make it feel like
Right.
you don't matter. Because I don't want that for me.
right, and that's why I
Because-
respect empathy over sympathy.
Yeah.
Because it's saying
But I think they're both
Okay.
important, and you got to have both.
no, I'm
Yeah.
not saying. I'm saying empathy for me is more
you said
important.
Respect. I
He
think
said
you
he
gotta
respects
respect
empathy
both.
over sympathy.
I respect no. I
that's
respect
his-
empathy
but that's
over
his opinion.
sympathy because
I got it.
Right,
I-
but
Then you turn right around and say,
Right.
but I think
But
you
watch
got to
this, watch
respect
this.
both.
But as a
'Cause then-
sympathetic
Watch this.
person,
Then
I
that,
want
that
him
goes back to
respect
what
both.
he was talking about. As at the end of the day, opinions are just like feelings.
everybody has one.
Right.
Right. So for me,
And
empathy
opinions only
works
advice
because
until you
I
take it.
haven't been there. So let me adhere to what you're saying and see how I can help.
Right. Okay.
But sympathy, if we both been through it, why are you still, dragging your feet going
because
the wrong
maybe
direction?
I'm not there where you are yet.
And that's fine.
I hear that.
But I'm
And-
going to tell you where I'm at, and it's up to you to
And if
capture
you
what
are
I'm saying.
that as a leader, then what I would like, and this is just how
I
I
got
move,
you.
but as a leader,
battle of a man and
because as a leader, if you are there, because I feel like that role shifts with men and women.
Absolutely.
Sometimes women are there and men aren't. Men are there and women aren't. If you are as respecting the human spiritual body and being, then help me get there. Now it's different if I'm resistant,
Exactly.
but if I don't know, and this is my experience, and
Yeah.
you happen to end up being my teacher in this moment,
Yeah.
don't show me non.
Oh, no.
I got you. I got you.
Because
I got
my
you.
thing is going to
Because
always
that's a
be
teaching moment
right.
for
And I was
me.
going to say
I
that.
got
I
you.
say
That's
every
a
moment
teaching
for me is a
moment.
teaching moment. It's
Right.
never going to don't respect your feelings to the point where others don't care. It's
Got
going to
you.
be I'm going to still lead and say what it is that I need you to
Yeah,
come
be
up
who
on.
you are,
yeah,
yeah.
come up on this.
But bring me to your level in a way that I can receive it.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
that's catering. But that's
That's
yeah.
that's another whole topic.
'Cause I'm a
Well,
soft
no,
speaker.
I like how you said that, but the thing about this country is people equate how sensitive you are, how much you care, by how much you agree.
Exactly.
That's powerful, right
If
there.
you disagree with what I'm saying, obviously,
Right.
you don't care.
Which is so right. And I think that's my point I was trying to prove. It's like, I have to change now what I stand for just to adhere to your emotions.
Yeah.
Send me that
And I don't
part.
think it's
I want to
that.
post that
It
part.
shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's not that. But what I think is, if we go back to the teaching and the educating moment.
That's big.
So it's not that you have to change, but and I'm gonna
That's
just
big.
use this example as a black man and black woman. There are different things that we go through that if I were to bring up in a conversation, if we were in a relationship, or you were to bring up in a conversation, I might not get it. But through communication and clear communication and being able to take the ego hat off.
Yeah.
And being able to step in one another's shoes. Even though to me that's that empathy, because I'm not a man, so I can never have sympathy because I ain't really been through
That's
what
why
you've been through.
empathy
But
is more
empathy,
important.
I get you, but it's on both ends.
It's
on both ends.
It's
Keep using
50-50.
but.
It's
However-
50-50.
Keep you in the loop.
However,
But
it's on both ends.
I believe it's 50-50 on both. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
I'm a 60-40 kind of guy.
Watch this, though. Everyone can't
I get
teach.
16, you get 40.
Everyone can't teach.
I empathize. Because I don't understand what you talking
I
about.
sympathize because you don't get it.
That was a good one. Everyone can't teach and everyone can't learn the same way.
But everybody can listen.
That's a choice.
And you either listen
That's
to...
a choice.
I said can.
You either listen
everybody-
to hear
Okay.
and learn, or either listen to react.
But it's a choice,
My
though.
baby daddy taught me that one.
It's a choice, though.
It is. But look,
That was
the
a single
reason why
clap.
we
That
got
was a single
empathy
clap.
and sympathy right now is because we are with the owners of E.Q Studios. So as you realize, we have gone way over time of what we normally do. But this has been such an
My God, this is great.
quality conversation.
Wow,
is.
right,
It
right,
is.
We
right.
had no choice.
I know something
Which
that
is,
Trump.
listen,
empathy and
every
sympathy
time
too,
you
that's
come
true.
here, it's always like that. From
And
Kurt's
tact.
room to my room,
that's all I care
to
about
even
is
the
truth.
podcast
It's
room
not what you
with
say, it's
Tone
how
X
you say
and
it.
Yolanda.
And it's tact.
At the end of the day, like you're gonna get either mentorship, you're gonna get some good, good quality. You're gonna get
Quality.
Listen,
Exceptional
listen.
quality.
Watch this. Watch this. What everyone says, you're gonna get weed free
Yes, weed free because I
and
can't
a
stand it.
clean environment here.
Yeah.
Everyone says
Yes,
that.
and snacks.
Right.
get
And
snacks.
they got the good snacks.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
be
got
eating-
that.
Real good
be
snacks.
As,
eating up my-
as my little godson would say, knack knack.
Not that.
They're weed
Knack,
free. Did y'all hear that?
Yes.
and listen,
alcohol.
listen, and you can smoke outside. I get
Yeah, they
that,
are.
but listen,
Yeah, they are.
please come with your spray, because
Right, don't come
everyone
in
doesn't
smelling like
smoke.
that.
Everyone
Yeah.
doesn't like that.
Now, if you
smoke.
blaze, that's your business.
You don't let.
But come
let
in here
everybody
knowing
know.
your words.
Ready to do your
no,
work.
Blaze and blaze.
Watch this.
Blaze
Listen,
and blaze.
I don't care if you know your words, because you the one that got to come back sober and
And repay it again.
Holla at your boy. Record.
So before we go, please tell everybody how they can follow or request a studio session, a podcast session, audio session,
Do you do
whatever it
tours?
is.
Do you come and show people around the
Oh
city?
yeah,
Absolutely,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Everybody has
So
to
let
do
them
that.
know
That
how they
works
can
here.
do that and how they can find both of you.
So you can find us at EQ Studios with an S, CLT. That's EQ Studios CLT on everything, and then
Personal.
And then our website's gonna launch top of the year. It will be EQStudiosCLT.com.
EQ Studios CRT.
And on the personal handle, I am Kirk. I am KYRK, not my government KIRK.
And your group.
And of course, you can catch me at Royalty.
Right.
RAWALLTY. Shouts out to the Woodster, Mr. Woods.
And when is your next show?
Oh, this Friday. So you just gave yourself a Hancock of praise. That's what's up. You was like,
Yeah, your next show that's
I thought you was in your own little
No.
now. So this Friday and Saturday we have a show in Gastonia and somewhere else. What's gonna kill me because I'll never be.
Well, good. I ain't on the road with Keith Sweat on this one, so I can be there. This one.
Okay, bet.
Well, this Saturday. Hold on, what time? Well, this Saturday I'm actually shooting.
Oh my God.
I'm shooting the bio. Listen, I'm shooting the bio of the making of Jay Styles from a kid on that. I got my old gospel group and transitioned to that group that I met you
Right.
at the That's
gotta
why.
get him in
Yes,
the
no.
biopic too now.
Trust me. I want him to speak on just that same thing we talked about, like
Well, hit his
that
manager
movie.
up so I can make sure it happens. And flows
Let's
through
come
the
on.
show.
I got you.
I
I got
empathize.
you. But
Right.
you can follow me at.
Me too.
I
Tell them where they can
empathize.
follow
Me too.
You
Oh,
can
you're
follow
great.
me personally at JSTYLZ Music. I try my best to follow everybody back, but definitely you send a comment, you send me a message, I will respond. I love everybody, and I empathize and sympathize with everybody.
Oh, that's nice.
okay.
And
That's
I-
you.
And right, everybody does not.
Everybody's not the same.
Everybody's not empathizing, sympathizing
No.
with everybody. Some of us, it boils down to it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because everybody is so sensitive now. And then tact comes into play. You can tell somebody to kiss your ass, but if you use tact, they'll say thank you.
Right.
And they'll ask you where. And this one right here is the one. If we would start to practice speaking truth and not worrying about
Come on.
Right.
the truth. I didn't say
talk
worry
to
about
me.
the
Talk to me.
consequences or the repercussions of saying it. I'm just saying not worry so much about saying it and just let it go. A lot of things would be better.
Absolutely.
And when I'm speaking, you speak to yourself. So I'm talking to myself too. So if you could start taking control of your truth, because what happens is truth gets manipulated because of emotional ties.
Come on.
Meaning Kirk is cool. So if the studio messed up, I can't really tell him the way I should
'Cause that's
tell
your
him
boy.
because Kirk is cool. Now, if this was a cat I know, but it's gonna, it had to be the same
Which
way.
is crazy. You should tell me before you
Right.
tell the
Right.
stranger.
But that's what we talk about.
That's how-
The emotional
I
tie.
know. I know.
But I said because of
That's
the
what's
emotional
crazy to
ties.
me.
Wow.
So when you tell the truth, because truth ain't tied to nobody.
Good
At all.
stuff.
It's just floating energy.
Good stuff, man.
So when you tell the truth,
That's that grown man,
and
y'all.
you be like, you know what I mean? I think we could do this better. If your wife look at you and be like, what? I think we could do this better. Like, what did I say that's
Talk to
wrong? Now
me.
we take our time to get
Talk
by
to
it,
me.
but and it's a difference like that. Like, and everybody wants to be like that. That's why I always talk about Malcolm and Betty. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. The level of respect and discipline between Malcolm and Betty was different than what you see now. Because some husbands can tell their wife something and use the utmost tact and respect, and she turn around and Walmart and be like, "Who you talking to? What? Boy, please. What? Someone's like, God dang.
Right.
Like, that's where we at now.
Right,
So
bro.
that's what I'm
Right.
talking about, and that's with truth of anybody. You know, the truth. You sitting in Walmart, you seeing a girl get cussed out, and we still beep. You ain't even looking. You don't want to look up because you don't want to be a part of it.
What?
And then the
Oh,
thing
you
now.
pulling out your phone
well, look where
to
it go
post
to.
it,
The
bro.
video
You go
recording
try to help
system
somebody
is
now, right?
Instead
And
of
then, well, why are you talking? Why are you talking to her? You remember when you used to help anybody, and it would be appreciative. Now the guy told me, why are you helping her? Because the cart fell over, and all your shit was on the floor in Walmart. And I was just, well, she don't need no help. I got it. Okay,
Right.
Well, why didn't you get it?
right. But okay though, because
That
what we're
goes
not
to
gonna do,
sympathy
what we're not gonna do is
and
start
empathy.
a physical altercation in Walmart because I'm trying to help your lady put some goddamn rotisserie chickens in the basket. So okay,
For you.
right? For you. So I'm a
Right.
chill.
Wow.
I'm a chill. We good. All right then.
Yeah, sympathy and empathy.
But
But
that,
she so said thank you about 6 times, but y'all good.
But that goes to when you know who you are. Seriously, everything. Everything. Right.
Well.
You know how to be. Everything is out the water.
Well.
after that. It's no disrespect. You know, my brother's helping me. I appreciate it. Listen, shout out to my wife. But back in the day when I was dating someone, way back in the day, I'll never forget.
Look at him.
Watch this. No, watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
For real, for real. So you say for real, you know you lying.
Right,
No,
right.
listen.
And we said,
So,
way back.
listen, I remember
For you, baby.
I remember some dude trying to holler at an ex-girlfriend of mine. And I looked at him. She was like, and I said, "Oh man, what's good, man? You all right? You good?" She was like, "Wow, I never had nobody do that." I'm not mad at him. He didn't know I was with you. It's okay. Why would I be mad at this dude? At the end of the day, and I think we create, just like you were saying, we create situations maybe because of ego or some other stuff, man. Maybe we ain't doing. I don't know. And it's just like going back to if we know we. Go ahead,
I was gonna say, or it would have been dope, because it's way back then.
Way back.
Say the guy was trying to holler at your girl, and she would have said, I'm with this guy right here, and then you show recognition, like, oh, okay, and you walk away. Sometimes when you walk away with that person and leave that person standing there, they can see the unity, and there's no need to argue. It's not, like, hey, bro, that's not.
Oh no, I did.
No,
I
I'm just saying.
I did this.
No, I know you did. But I'm just saying, even without even.
I got you.
Literally,
because he could have reacted.
Reacted
I
just
got
like
you.
that.
I got you.
If she would have said, not that she did nothing wrong, but I'm saying if nowadays you single people and you trying to date and you don't bring nothing to the table, but you want this person, he or she, to bring that, this, then the third, you should already have what you bring into the table so that person know what they're weighing against. It's like a boxing match. If you weigh too much, you can't even get in the ring with me.
Right.
If you don't weigh too much,
good stuff.
In the same,
you don't weigh enough. We
Good
still
stuff.
can't rock.
Good
Too
stuff.
light.
We need to be weighing, and I'm not saying, oh, great job, great car. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about emotional support.
Exactly.
You feel me?
And respect. level for
Respect
one
for one another. No.
another. In this
Right.
relationship and situation.
So you don't have to go, all my life, y'all break up or the argument. I did this for you. I did that for you. No.
and then you don't have to show.
You did this for yourself.
But see, watch this though. But people who know who they are don't have anything to prove.
That's my point. If you go in head on knowing
I
what you
got
bring
you.
outside of finances and all the stuff that you can build together,
Right.
you got to come ready and able to either receive or to give.
And in those situations, if another man or another woman, if they're standing there, your partner already knows how to respond and react.
So if you don't
Right.
know who you are, you don't know how to receive or give.
Period.
Listen, I told somebody a long time ago. I said, "Do you love yourself?" They got mad at me. Watch this. The perfect example of a person who loves themselves is how they choose for themselves. Because a person who loves themselves don't want to hurt themselves.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're constantly hurt themselves,
Then come on, that's not.
How they gonna love you?
come on, man. We've already all heard. Look at the man how he treats his mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm with this man, because not only his mother, how he treats and feels about women, period. Whether he know you, he don't know you, you his mama, his cousin, his girl, his wife,
Right.
his sister. He has a certain
Or about respect. Yeah.
level when it comes to the woman, period. She could be a crackhead, a prostitute.
Come on, women. Listen, y'all
but
hear
there's
that?
a certain level of respect that he's going to give her.
Pay attention. Listen.
And that's why I'm with this dude.
Listen, me and my wife were at I think it was Friday. Shout out to Fridays. We was at Fridays, and
Nigga plugging.
I know, right? We
Sponsorship!
need to check Fridays.
Sponsorship.
Studios.
All right.
Need to
So,
check.
anyways, we were there, and it was mad crowded, so we was hungry, so we went to the bar. Man, this dude showed up, and he was up from somewhere from up north. This dude, I think that was their first date. Dude, he cursed her out with a smile, laughing at her. Yo, B-I-T-C-H, man, that chick, all loud. I'm sitting there. And I told my wife, even to this day, I think about that situation. Because I'm wondering what he is to her and what he has done to her since then. It goes back to respect. Like, when do you see, he ain't good with women, period. Whether it's a daughter or whatever. It was just like, I just couldn't believe it. And of course, it was one of our peoples. And it's like, I wanted to say something so bad, just afraid of, because that guy, if he don't know who he is, he doesn't understand that I'm trying to help him. Again, if you don't know who he is.
You can't help a stranger because you don't know him.
Not on the same frequency.
Right.
See, you could go help me from Yolanda because Yolanda got the pistol at me. But you don't know I just stabbed Yolanda in the stomach. You see? So when you go to be like, oh, man, I wanted to say something, that ain't your fight.
Right.
You can't just, nigga, you ain't saving the world. You ain't walking around here talking about, hey, brother, unless you can fight real well.
And if she don't see
deflect
it,
bullets, and if she don't say
yeah.
nothing, why you think domestic violence is so much of a big deal? Because people don't understand, well, how could she just stay there?
Right,
To
bro.
someone, well, how could she, first thing, you not she.
Right.
You from the outside looking in. You ain't
My
from the
mother's
inside
first marriage
looking out.
That.
Oh, my father choked my mom, made her eyeballs pop up. My aunt had to push my mom's eyeballs in. That's why my mom had problems with her vision and thyroid. But you couldn't say nothing
I get it.
negative about Glenn Hoover. My mama shut you down.
Come on now.
You be like, well, didn't he shoot at you when you had tone in your hands? And you say the bullet curve?
what?
My mom be like, okay. And my mom be, she said, but didn't he say? My mom said, okay. Yeah, but didn't you take me to his girlfriend's house and something? My mom be like, okay. But you couldn't say, and I never got that. I was like, how could he? Now I'm older, and I get it. My dad ain't graduating no high school. My dad dropped out of school to help his family, and then he came from that violent background, and all he taught me about was game, money, and cars. That's why I'm a car enthusiast. That's why I got a hustler spirit, and that's why they say I got the gift of gab. Because my dad told me from day one. My dad kind of philosophy was like, listen, don't ever close the front door. Always make sure you leave it open. Because it don't make noise to come in the front. It always creak when you go in the back. That means if you do dirt, you don't never bring it home to your footsteps. You don't never that's the kind of philosophy my dad got. My dad said, I won $1 million on Monday. I lost it Tuesday. He said, I don't know why y'all looking like that. Because Wednesday morning I get up, I'll flip it, I'll get it again. So, but that was the same cat who told me, yo, don't do like I did. Because your mama was the one. Your daddy like pussy. So don't be like me.
Wow.
Because I should stay with your mama. That's the one right there. So
Wow.
you see all that now and then you get it. Because back in the day, I wouldn't give a damn if your daddy had a family across town. First of all, your mama knew about it. Second of all, you ain't know about it because it wasn't none of your business.
Right.
Third thing is your daddy took care of both households, which ain't nothing but what they predicting going to have to happen now in the black community because of the number disparagement. More women than the men. So now the men are going to have to go and take care of more household. It's not so you can have sex with 3 women. It's so 3 households can get a certain level of guidance, a certain level of teaching, a certain level of a presence of a strong black man in the home. But this is a westernized country. So to get that philosophy over to these sisters and these females over here, that don't register. Because that's you trying to get some ass. You got 2 women, you got 1 woman, and you ain't Muslim. That don't register.
Right.
But it's the same mentality and approach you're going to have to take. If a little kid was calling him Mr. Kirk, and the little kid had a mama, and Mr. Kirk was providing a place, of safe haven, good energy, and he learning something here. But the daddy got a problem with him being here because the little boy called him Mr. Kirk. And now he sees a problem with that. You cannot see a problem with that because Kirk is going above and beyond. He already has a family. But what he's doing here is extending his reach that he has with his own family to yours. He's trying to keep him from being a statistic in a loving kind of way, but you don't see that because you are selfish. You see what I mean?
Right.
You don't have to get a Father's Day card to be a great father.
I hear that. Absolutely.
All right? The same way you don't need a birthday card to know it's your birthday.
Right.
You don't need a Father's Day card to know you're a great father.
I hear that.
You see what I mean?
You don't need an award to know that
You're not gonna get no award. You're not gonna your award is your best. You ain't trying to be the best, but you giving your family your best.
But that goes back to knowing who you are. Those who don't know who they are will constantly try to prove themselves.
Let me tell you this one. What you do does not make you who you are. Know that. I know some cats that sell coke, but I take my son over to their house quicker than some Christian people I know that let him stay the night. Because I know them cats that run the coke.
I get it.
Take care of my son. These
I
Christian
get it.
folk there.
I get it.
We don't know.
I get it.
So what you do
And I listen, y'all.
does
some of
not
y'all
make
Christian
you who you
fans
are.
Who don't know the streets,
You see what
y'all
I mean?
don't understand and won't understand
Right.
it.
Because that's loyalty.
Kirk could have a bale of weed in the back.
get it.
They ain't got nothing to do with how he run the studio.
I get it.
So when cats be like, yeah, Kirk all right, but man, you know what Kirk be doing. No.
No,
All I know
that's
is when I
your
come
job.
in for the podcast, my shit look good, sound good.
Exceptional
It's
quality.
exquisite.
Right.
And I do know what Kirk be doing because I bought a zip from him. But I'm just trying to keep him in business. all the way around. Who am I to? Okay,
Mess up his
I'm trying to keep everybody employed. I don't
Right.
care about the paperwork.
I hear you, bro.
I just want to keep the money flowing.
I hear you.
Okay, and he don't have no seeds, no sticks, no stems. I don't know what he did. So I'm like, it's incredible over here.
Still
Goddamn
a com-
EQ.
listen,
I think that's
still
why
a comedian.
I think that's why the color over here is green. But I ain't saying nothing. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Oh yeah, we got merchandise too.
Yeah,
y'all.
he sure do. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
We got merchandise.
We got
Shirts.
EQ edibles coming out
jackets.
next month.
Yes, branding is everything.
EQ edibles coming out next month.
Branding is everything.
I'm on that committee. A little stereo equipment that you can eat.
We got. Wait, listen. We got auto tune. EQ auto tune juice for sale in 3 months.
Go right now.
It make you sound like this.
You know we saying no.
I don't know if I want either one of them auto tune juices. I'm gonna drink what Kurt drinking.
Listen,
Because
it's safe.
I don't know if I want either one of them. Them look like tea and some pain. That's not like tea and some pain. That no tea pain. Tea and a lot of pain. It's
Look,
shade pain.
Album coming out Christmas.
No, it's not.
And
No,
some
it's
pain.
not coming out.
Pain.
We gonna shelf it a while. And see.
Album is
We
coming
gonna see
out
what the
Christmas.
algorithm say first.
Right.
Oh,
Her album is called
Hey, T-Pain,
Empathy
listen,
and
I'm gonna write the
Sympathy.
hook. You do the verse to that one. Look.
What's the
Her
name of
album
it?
is called Empathy versus Sympathy.
Wait, playing though. I
Sensitive
am gonna
Records.
talk to Jason because I
Sensitive
did.
music group.
Music
I
group.
always wanted to be an artist, at least for one day.
Let's do it.
For 1
You
hour.
can draw.
I want to come in and record something. Like for
You're dumb. And the husband laughing.
That was fun. That was a meeting. What they call that's called a bait and switch. Because she said an artist, she talking about music. He said you can draw, bait and switch.
No.
That's fun.
I'm not talking about draw. I'm talking about singing. And I'm gonna
I
let
got you.
come
You talking
up
to a
with-
guy that be on mutual insurance commercials with that goddamn bird. So
Yo,
Look,
that shit
I'm
is
50 on December 30th.
Boy!
that joker star
He
right.
said, he said, we gonna get you the helicopter.
I'm gonna drop one single. That's all I want is one single.
You gonna be single.
Okay, no, I'm going to drop.
Oh,
one
okay.
single.
Now I'm say I'm gonna drop and be
let's
single. I'll be like, where I'm
Let's all
going.
do a record.
Yeah, like
Seriously.
let's do. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Me and Kurt need more time.
Yeah.
That's okay. Me and Jay about to get in the
y'all,
studio.
y'all,
I'm gonna
I
get
see
in
y'all
the
like to
studio.
jump into things.
Yeah,
Me and
we
Kurt,
gonna get in the
we
studio.
like taking.
with
Well,
you.
y'all
like
go
to
ahead.
plan.
We like.
I promise you in
We all
Me and Kurt-
2022.
listen. We all four talked about spiritual stuff.
Come on now.
Leap of faith and all that. He's talking about we need some more time.
But I'm gonna let you know in 2022, I am a dancer.
Listen,
I am a dancer. I'm not a
listen.
singer.
If you got a great tone,
Wait a minute. What you say? y'all?
tone. Look. We got a great tone. Hint,
No, I'm
hint.
gonna applause.
I said I'm not a singer, but I am a dancer and an actor.
Look. So she
Look out,
got.
'cause I'm single.
So she.
Look, I'm 50 years old, so I'm gonna put. Look, we're gonna do this together. It's gonna go viral because I'm gonna be the first 50-year-old artist that you ever produced a song, wrote a song for. My engineer over here gonna help engineer with you or whatever he do with EQ Studios
Come
to help
on.
produce. I want to do it, and it's just gonna be one single. All I want is one song.
Tone
We're gonna
just-
get it on
Tone-
V101.9.
Tone is not in his head.
She gonna get one down low and be
Tone
like, yo,
is
we gotta
not
do
in
an
his
album.
head.
It's hot.
Right.
It's
Rhythm.
hot out here.
But
Beat
that's
cadence.
what we want. Look, let's get it. I'm telling
Rock
you.
session.
You better put. Come on now.
The name of the song is called Empathy.
Empathy, and I'm gonna keep that. It's gonna be
I'm
called
telling you.
empathy.
Empathy.
He was up in here being Styles Kelly.
Yeah.
You gotta have.
All right.
No, we can't give it
This
away.
is an hour-long podcast and turned into 4 hours.
But y'all, please look out for the album. Ebony, empathy.
All this you doing, Yolanda don't even know she got to go by
Ebony,
the radio
empathy.
station with me on the way in.
Okay, well, I can do that too.
You gonna have to.
But coming
'cause you
2022.
extended my
Look
little
out
time.
for
Now
it.
you
Produced by Jay
You got
Sal.
no choice.
Okay, y'all. Thank you for joining.
Yay!
Roman Conversation Podcast. Look, getting Harrison with it. Thank you.
Roman Conversations.
Staying in there.
The TED Talk tonight, wasn't it?
Thank you,
Man, listen.
Facebook, for staying in there too. We
There's somebody right now
appreciate it.
talking about, well, you was talking about E.Q Studios. What did
I
they
know
do?
what they doing.
Well,
That's what we do over here. We have a good
That's what
time.
goes on over here.
Right.
So thank y'all
All
for
right, so
tuning
yes,
in, man. I
We'll be
left my
back
glasses
next
on.
Tuesday, same time, same place.
It's out.
Peace.
Put that music on.
It's a grown man in the building. I don't think you're ready. Come on. We riding on some grown man knees. We step into grown man is. Conversation on some grown man is. Put your hands up on some grown man is. We puffin' on some grown man is. We sippin' on some grown man is.